Okay. Calm. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, welcome to the Technica Podcast. I'm Floricel. I'm a junior civil engineering major, and I use she, her pronouns.
I'm Helena Tesfaye. I'm a computer science major, and I also use she, her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Iyeth. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a computer science major minoring in business, and I'm a junior.
Hi guys, I'm Haley. I'm a marketing and international business major. I'm currently a junior and I use she, her pronouns.
Hello, my name is Aditi. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a computer science major and I'm a sophomore.
Hi everyone, I'm Sreya. I'm a computer science and immersive media design double major, and I use she, her pronouns, and I am a junior. And we are all the Technica Brand Team.
Ooh, I love brands.
Yes, so all of the videos and content that you've been seeing this entire hackathon season is courtesy of us 6. And today we're just going to chat about being a woman in STEM, being a student woman in STEM, Technica, computer science, just general college, university life, and what we do over the summer, internships, jobs, all that. So let's just get right into it. So, what would you all say is like an important aspect of like getting involved on campus with your academic organizations, and like how do you choose the right ones? Like what led you guys all to Technica?
I think with knowing like what clubs and organizations are right for you, like this is like general advice that I think applies to anything. The only way to know really is like by trying it. Like regardless of like maybe like your friend went and they didn't like something and they're like, oh, this sucks, don't do it. But like truly the only way is if you go and you try it. So I think like seeing anything that interests you like on Instagram or like Terp Link, you should just go, and there's no harm in going to like the first event or like one general body meeting. And if you're not vibing, you can just leave. But if you like it, then it can end up being like the best thing ever. So I think like when I heard about Technica, I was like, oh, like I don't know if any of my friends are gonna do this, but I'm gonna do it anyways, and we'll see what happens. And it ended up being like the best thing ever.
And to kind of add on to that, like don't cut yourself short of anything. Like don't be like, oh, like I don't want to apply, like I'm probably not qualified. Like even if you aren't, just apply. Like you never know if you will get in or not. Like it's just for the experience. Apply, go to the interviews, be like, okay, like this is what it feels like to interview for a club. Like okay, maybe next year I can spruce up my resume if you don't get in, but you never know, like you might get in, and then you get to meet so many new people.
I also feel like at a school like UMD, like if you're applying for a school club and it's run by students, it's not the same like process as if a real adult.
Just all kids.
Like it's not the same as like college admissions or like something like that. It's like a lot more friendly. Like you want to get to know like the vibe of the people rather than just like how they are academically and things like that. And like I remember when I was like interviewing all of you guys, like I wasn't really like thinking about like, ooh, like how's she doing in like 132? Like I'm like I was just like, I was wanting to get a feel for like how each of you were, and I wanted to like get a feel for like how we would all blend together, and like I feel like we all blend together pretty well. So
I feel like getting into college, like high school really, like you're like, okay, like join these clubs, be like in leadership, but like in college I feel like you shouldn't be in clubs and like have it feel like work or like a chore. Like you should actually like enjoy it. So like my freshman year I was like side questing hard. Like I think I was signed up for like sailing club, I did like crocheting and like all these like different orgs, and then it just like weeded down to the ones that I like actually enjoyed showing up to. And like I feel like Technica is one of them because it feels more like tight-knit in a way and like a community, so it doesn't feel like work or like a chore. Even though we are doing like important things, it's like fun because you're like with your friends or you're like meeting new people and it's like enjoyable.
Also like we play music at UVM, like it's such a good
it's
time.
A vibe.
Yeah.
You really get to see like everyone's personalities at the GBMs.
Exactly.
Like you really, I feel like in Technica as a whole, like when you go to the hackathons, like it's more focused on like getting a project done, going to like the other companies that have come out and like getting that job offer. But then when you take a step back and you go to like the GBMs, I feel like it's always been like, oh my god, like how's your day been going and everything. It's more personalized, and then also it's been like, oh my god, I found this really cool thing and like I want you to look at it as well, and it's just very close knit. I really love about it.
It also helps like when you're doing clubs that a lot of people in your major are doing as well, because like you can talk to them like about classes and you can like meet new friends that you end up like seeing in class the next day, which is cool. But it's also really good for like people who are not in CS too, because I know we have
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it gave, like, CS is such a big, like, thing here. So it, like, gives me a better scope of things. Because I feel like in the business school, it's very, like, high school almost. Like, everything is about, like, what's going on in the business school. Like, I don't know much outside of it. Because, like, that's, like, the focus, like, networking, going to events, like, all that. So, like, being in Technica, I feel like it helps me realize, like, there's more than just, like, my school. And it's, like, interesting to, like, see that.
I definitely agree with, like, don't knock it till you try it kind of thing. Like, freshman year, I'm, like, trying all these different clubs. But also, I like to look at, like, the message of the organization. Like, not all clubs and organizations you're going to, like, apply yourself to be like, hey, can I join this club? You're going to put yourself out there for the clubs. And, like, if you don't vibe with it, then you don't go there. And I just really like Technica because of how, like, the message of Technica and, like, what we're working towards while also creating, like, a really tight-knit community.
And you can, like, see that the message is, like, not just at the hackathon, like, it's at every GBM. It's, like, kind of embedded into all of us now. And I feel like it's definitely more so than, like, how I thought of, like, hackathons and just, like, the whole idea of, like, being an underrepresented gender and, like, these kinds of, like, male-dominated fields. I just feel like I have a better semblance of, like, how to operate within those kinds of spaces, and I feel like Technica has a really good, like, message and, like, actually, like, you know, carries through.
I think, like, being in Technica, like, I guess, like, my third person perspective for you guys, like, because we're all in this group of, like, underrepresented genders, like, it feels like you're not underrepresented. It, like, in a way, like, you have, like, an impact and, like, enough of a voice, like, in CS, because, like, we are all, or you guys are all together, but it's, like, cute to see from
we're all
we're all
together.
together.
Yeah,
But yeah.
So I know you kind of hit on this a little bit earlier, but when you talked about, like, how, you know, CS is really, like, male dominated and stuff like that, what's, like, some advice that you'd give to, you know, other women in our club and everything, or outside of our club as well, who, like, may feel intimidated by that aspect?
I feel like if you're in a male-dominated space, like, there are still going to be a good amount of girls there, especially at a place like UMD. Like, we have a pretty good ratio compared to a lot of other schools, and, like, I think what's worked best with me is, like, making friends that are girls that I can study with and, like, I feel more, like, comfortable with, because, like, sometimes in those male-dominated spaces you feel like you don't really have a voice, or you feel like you're being talked over and things like that, but, like, I feel like it's never like that with the girls.
Yeah, not gonna lie.
Yeah, like, we all, like, let each
Yeah.
other, like, say our piece, like, we all listen to each other, and it's, like, really good for, like, you know, study groups and things like that. I'm still, like, navigating how to, like, find a good study group, because, like, you have your best friends who you always, like, goof off with.
Yeah, there's no
but, like,
studying being done.
yeah. Like, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've, like, I've come here to McKeldin, like, freshman year, here the entire day, like, maybe, like, one assignment is done.
You have to
Sometimes even
separate.
that.
You have to, like, go
Yeah.
away.
Yeah,
Let's take a break.
But, like, still having those, like, girly study groups. We have them at Technica too. Like, we have grind nights.
I also think it's, like, a lot about perspective and thinking, like, you're not, like, those, like, men or boys who think they're, like, sorry, I just had to say, think they're doing, like, better.
Yeah.
Like, they might not actually think they're doing better than you. They could be, like, insecure too, and, like, it's just, like, the imposter syndrome getting you to think that, like, oh, just because it's male dominated, they're, like, doing better, or they have more experience and all that. But yeah, I think it's a lot about just perspective on it.
Yeah,
Especially in college. I feel like everyone's, like, in a way, like, at equal footing. Like, you have just as much as a shot as your peers, like, even though they're, like, like, male. It doesn't really matter. Like, you should maybe even use that as a fuel to, like, exposure therapy. Like, if you're afraid to talk in class because, like, all the guys are talking over you, like, keep pushing until you feel comfortable and more confident, and I feel like that'll help you with, like, imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like it's always easier to start in that kind of environment, like, in discussion, but, like, sometimes in lecture, like, I'm silent.
No, really.
Like,
it's so hard to ask questions during lecture.
I'm still,
I
like,
think-
trying to work on it.
Yeah. I won't lie, like, I remember, I think this happened last week, I'm not sure if it was last week or the week before, but our teacher did this thing where he has, like, hot seats where if you sit in them, like, you're gonna get called on no matter what. So I always avoid those seats because, like, he just chooses you and you answer, right? So I sat, like, behind the hot seats, a good portion behind, right? And I remember he did this thing where he asked the question of like, how many of you guys and like everyone raises their hand. I'm talking like full room raises their hand, and he chooses me, and I was like, and I answered the question. He's like, wait, I can't hear you. And then I'm just like, wait, please don't do this to me, please. In front of every single person here.
Oh my god.
Please. It was for what's it called, 216.
Nelson.
Oh my god, no, not even Nelson. It was oh my god, I don't know if Kaufman, yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, literally. And then eventually he caught on that I was embarrassed, and he was like, okay, she's embarrassed, guys, let's get someone to help her. I was like, wait,
Give me a shot.
I'm a star, please.
That's when you hope someone behind you whispers the answer.
Yes,
Or whispers
yes.
the answer.
It's not even like I didn't know the answer. It was just I wasn't loud
on
enough.
spot.
And that's like a big thing. And I feel like a lot of like not feeling like you're welcome when it comes to like, you know, gender and everything is, for me at least, it's always been like discussions. Like for discussions for classes that are like really large scale, I look around that discussion hall, it is just men. Like I have like one girl, and if I'm not there early enough, there will already be a guy sitting right next to her.
Yeah.
So honestly, maybe that's a tip, guys. Maybe show up just a little bit early.
Band
And
together.
find that other girl.
Yeah, you're so
sit
right.
next to
Because like
them.
sometimes I'll go to a lecture and I'll feel like there are a good amount of girls there, and then I'll go to discussion and I'm like one of three
Literally.
or one
Yeah.
of two.
Literally.
It's so bad.
The other day, I went to, I think it was like a bio gen ed lecture, something like that, to make like an announcement for a club. And when I walk in, there it was like 150 girls, and I was like, oh my god!
yeah,
I literally
bio.
was like it hit me. I was like, what is going on? And then I walk out, and I'm like, oh my god, that class has so much girls. I was like texting my friends, and they're like, it's because it's not a CS class.
Oh.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
Or
Okay,
engineering.
true.
Yeah,
I was
or
like,
engineering.
or
For sure, yeah.
And looking to like add on, don't feel discouraged, because I feel like a lot of the times, like me or my friends have gone to like either like TA hours or like something, and like some TAs being rude. It's like it happens.
Yeah.
There's like one or two TAs like that, but like never feel discouraged, because like just go to like some other TA and I
Find the
promise
women
you,
TA.
yeah,
The
literally.
girl TA will be in your corner.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
They're like such sweethearts. Like you just have
Actually.
to just don't feel discouraged. And even if you're like talking to someone in discussion and like, you know, it just happens to be all men, so you have to talk to some guy. Like if he's being rude, like he's being rude. Like that's all
Yeah.
good.
Have you guys ever had like a guy like
a TA.
About TA.
or just
TA.
like a,
Yes.
like
Yes.
yeah, really.
Like
For a
you'll just
TA?
ask them a
Yeah.
question and they'll say something that doesn't really answer it, and they'll say it like it's the most obvious
Yeah.
thing ever.
Yeah.
and do you
like-
feel like it's like just
I'm
because
like-
you're a girl?
Yes.
Or just because I'm confused.
Yeah.
And also
Really.
low-key maybe because I'm a girl too, because I feel like if a guy like says a question and he has a certain diction
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he's
True.
like with another guy, it's like, oh, we're boys.
Yeah,
like,
we're
let me
boys,
help
like,
you
let me
out.
help
Yeah.
But like if it's a girly pop or something,
Yeah, he's
and I'm
like-
wearing like my Technica shirt,
Yeah.
and he's like, okay, so what do you have a problem with now?
No, literally.
Like condescending.
It's always when they first ask the question too.
Yeah.
I'm like
Yes.
done. I'm like,
I'm
I'll
actually
go
so
back
done.
home
Yeah.
right now.
It's
No,
okay.
yeah,
I'll actually go talk straight to the
Because,
teacher.
like,
It's
why
fine.
would I be waiting in the queue for an hour for me to get that? Like,
Yeah.
that's the most annoying thing
Yeah,
about like
like-
office hours too.
But I will say, like, it's very evident if you go with someone that's a guy. Yeah, no, because literally there was this one time where me and my friend, like, it's really easy to see when you go with a guy to, like, office hours and everything. And me and my friend went to office hours. We both had different questions, but we were just, like, working on the project as we're doing so. And at one point, like, we got to, like, one specific part of the code, and we both had the same error. And we were like, okay, let's, like, also ask that when our QLE comes up, because our QLE was, like, what, 5 minutes away after, like, an hour or so. And so after that, like, I get this TA who comes up to me and he's like, okay, are you Helena? I'm like, yeah, I'm Helena. Okay, cool. I ask my question. I get the same, like, half answer, that half-assed answer, really. And it just really sucked. Like, the answer didn't give me much guidance, and I just felt like I was just stuck back at it. But then I was like, in my mind, I was justifying it, because I was like, oh, he's a TA, he can't give us the answers, he's just guiding us to get the right answer. Don't fall into that, okay? Because tell me why, as soon as my QLE thing is up, my friend goes up, and he's like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Dabs him up. And then goes, real quick question, real quick. I'm over here doing this part, right? And gets, like, the most extensive answer. And I literally had to ask my friend, like, wait, what did he tell you? I didn't catch that end part. Like, because he had such a great answer. And I'm just over here, like, all I got was bits and pieces. Like, I'm fighting for scraps. And y'all are eating dinner. It's not clicking. It's not clicking. It's not clicking. It's really not clicking. But
obviously, like, I get the concept of TAs, but, like, sometimes I just can't help but think, like, these are students and people's besties, and some people's not besties, and it's like, oh.
Somewhere out there, someone else noticed this as well, and that gave me validation.
Yeah. Would you guys ever feel comfortable, like, saying something further, like, I feel like you're not treating me. Yeah, that was kind of.
I would.
Yeah.
See,
I would.
Yeah.
you're brave.
I feel like you should, but then, like, I always, like, whenever stuff like that happens to me, I'm like, it's not worth it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
let it go. Like,
Yeah.
I have other things to do, like, blah, blah, blah. But, like, low-key, like, I feel like the more I start saying something, like, it's gonna benefit, like, other
Yeah.
girls or, like,
Yeah,
other
it will.
people in the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
Yeah, it will.
situation.
But also, like, that's literally their job.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
do
do
your
your
job.
job.
Like, why do I have
Call
to
them
beg
out.
you
Yeah.
to do
Hold
your
them accountable.
job?
Yeah.
Like, we're in the right, but at the same time, it's like, if I have to pull it out
Exactly.
of you,
It's like, why am I doing
it's
extra
making
work
me
'cause
seem
you're
like
not doing
it right. Like,
yeah.
what's not clicking?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
get
I
on your
think
Zoom.
earlier on, it definitely just seemed like their TAs, they know what they're doing. But,
Yeah.
like, you really gotta say something because
Yeah.
people just, they don't care.
Yeah, in the end, they're just students.
They're just
also,
students.
Yeah.
who like
Yeah.
maybe got a good grade in the class. Like,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
nothing
like,
crazy.
If
Yeah.
anything, just think of the fact that, like, they had to be given the answers to know all
Yeah.
this. Like, yes, they
Yeah.
did the projects and everything, but they probably also went to office hours and all that jazz too. And then additionally, even as a TA right now, like, those materials that they're teaching from, those answers for, like, projects and stuff, they're fed those answers. They're fed those materials. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like, they're just
Yeah.
like you for real. Like,
I was a TA, but like for an easy class. But like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but like, I'd rather be like a cool TA, like
Yeah.
help the kids, like actually like
kids is crazy.
not kids.
Kids is crazy.
Power complex. Anyway, like I'd rather like
so
help the
funny.
students instead of like act like nonchalant or whatever. Like I'd rather like
Yeah.
be like friendly with them and like actually like give them like useful
Yeah.
like tips and
Yeah.
stuff
Mhm.
than just like give them a grade. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like I don't know. But I know people that they're like really sticklers. Like oh like you didn't write this right, and like they'll like actually take down like. I think I would take off like 0.5. Like I would never like
Yeah.
actually do anything because it's like in the end we're all just students. Like I don't understand how like
Yeah.
as a student you can feel like
That
so
much of a-
entitled to like
Yeah.
take off so much or like not
Like-
help a kid. Yeah.
I can't.
In relation to this question, I definitely want to touch upon like the engineering school because it has like the same kind of ratio of women to men and almost I want to say less. Like I was in Clark Lead, so I found out the ratio is like 30 to 70%, and I thought it was so much more, but it is actually like that little.
But, like, even that, like,
No, yeah,
70 to
ex-
30.
that's what I'm saying, and I was like,
guys don't go to lectures.
Please.
but like in the entire school, it's like 30 to 70, and so I definitely agree with like finding out the other like women and underrepresented genders in your classes, but I also think that like immediately thinking that every guy in the class is like out for you
Oh, yeah,
is
yeah,
really
yeah.
like detrimental to
Yeah.
them and yourself specifically. I feel like you really need to like go out and befriend them and find out who
Yeah,
is like an
befriend
op
them.
because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like, in this
keep
one-
your ops
Because
close.
there are, but like
Yeah.
it's not like you shouldn't go in with the
Yeah,
mindset
yeah.
of that's how they are.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
They're really good.
It's
ones.
literally
Yeah.
giving yourself a disadvantage to think that, oh, okay, I'm alone here. You
Yeah.
aren't alone. There are some, like, nutcrackers out there, but, like, most people in this day and age, I think, and especially at Maryland,
Yeah.
I feel like they're mindful enough to, like,
Yeah.
demur.
Yeah.
They're
mindful.
Very
They're mindful
cutesy.
enough to,
Maybe
like,
not cutesy.
No,
Mindful.
yeah, yeah. Especially if you call them out, like, if you, especially if you call them out. Like, I
Yeah.
remember calling out this one guy in my ENES 100 class, was like, hey, we're a team here. You are not doing everything. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was doing that.
Yeah.
And then it was worked out and
Yeah.
we became
In
we
a
became
way,
like a duo.
I feel like sometimes they're just unaware.
That is
like,
true.
yeah,
Like
they're
education
yeah.
is so
They
important.
don't even know.
They don't even know. They're talking
Yeah.
over you and they're like being like condescending. Like you can hear it, but like they don't even recognize like finance bros. Like
Oh my
be safe. Like y'all can look
Talk about it, actually.
so condescending. Like it's just their tone and the way they like hold themselves is like they're trying to show you that they're like above
Better.
you.
Yeah, yeah. It's like
And
they're trying to
I
show
know.
off
Yeah.
to like
Vermin.
impress you,
Don't
but it's
vermin.
just coming
It's like-
across
but
as
But
like
like they're
I
trying to impress
promise you.
everyone.
Yeah.
And then like all
Because I think
it's like a
it's
stepping
low-key, like,
stool.
false
On top of each
confidence.
other.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cause like, and then, in a way, yeah, because they like give off that energy. Like, in the beginning, I was very like oh, they're out for me, you know, like I can't like, but like I got to know a few of them, or like not even, just like some of the guys in my class, and like they're actually just like a little brain dead, you know. Like, not brain dead, but like it's just false. No, like
speak your truth.
They don't actually like think that way, but in like business culture, like they have to act that way. It's for show. So it's like not actually how they are, and like once you like realize that, it's a lot less scary.
I think there's also like this stereotype that they feel like they need to fill in, so they're like, I need to be this smart, I need to be like this, like they see like other guys acting like that, and they're like, oh, like I need to be like that.
I think like I think also like some people just confuse intelligence with arrogance. Like sometimes they can't like really see the difference because they think like in order for someone to be perceived as smart, you have to be XYZ. But I feel like maybe it's like that from like male to male. But like I think from like male to female or female to female, like it's not really like that.
Girls are just humble, but I feel like
I feel like girls like actually just want to help each other.
We're supportive,
and we want to like figure things out together.
I agree.
And it's not about like who got there first.
Guys are competitive. It's very obvious that they're competing against one another, and like relax.
I don't think it's bad.
I think everyone is competitive in their way, but I think it depends on who you find. There's definitely toxic girls, and but you have to find like the people who you click with, and like just like explore.
Seeing everything as binary is kind of not a good mindset. Because you just
And I mean, I was just gonna say, like, the friends that you meet like freshman year or like early in your CS classes, don't stick with them if they're not the ones that are making you feel like if any of your friends are making you feel like you're not intelligent, then they're not. Don't stick with them, because that's not normal. Like, that's not a good friendship. Or if they're using you or whatnot.
But on the flip side, if you do find those like few group of like friends, guys or girls, that like just make you feel so welcome, so included, you can stick with them. You should stick with them. Because not gonna lie, like I've been taking the same classes as my friends from freshman year, second semester up until now. Like we've had the same classes and everything.
And that's so helpful.
Yeah, it's really helpful.
Yeah,
especially like if you really don't like asking questions in class, if you're feeling that way, or you don't want to go to discussion alone or something like that, like you have a friend that you can just be like, hey, like I'm really confused, I could use some help, and then you just ask your friend and then you get an answer. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier than like feeling like the daunting weight of like, oh, I have to ask a question in lecture tomorrow.
Or like I have to figure this out all on my own.
Speaking of, it's like freshman year, like, oh, it's so easy to meet people because everyone like wants to meet people. And I was talking to my friend about how like it is harder like sophomore and junior, even like second semester freshman year, like people are already
people are clicking in,
people have their groups, and like the people who have their groups and the people who are like locked in, they're probably not people you want to be friends with anyways. Go like find people like in clubs and like other places that are open and wanting to like be friends, you know, and like those are the people that will be welcoming to you.
I feel like that's also like a big reason why I joined Technica. Like I was like, oh, like everyone already has their friends, like why are we all like closed off? And I was like, I want to find more people like in tech, or like even out of tech. And I was like, okay, like let me find like you guys are all like cute as hell, like let's be and it's so welcoming, like and it's different, like you don't have all just CS majors, so you can like a side of every.
I feel like even if you like, it seems like people are like falling into their cliques and like getting closed off. Like I know people like say that like even though they have like a friend group and they like hold on to that because they feel like they need to be making friends because it's like college, you like need to make connections, but like in a way people are still like wanting to meet new friends even if it might seem like they're like locked off, like so you shouldn't like close yourself off to like talking to people just because you think that they're like locked in or whatever, because like people are always like gonna surprise you.
So to kind of segue off of that, speaking of like Technica and like academics, how do you guys like, what are some like tips you have for other people on how to balance like your academics and all of the work that you get from like extracurriculars and stuff?
I feel like when you come to college, it's super hard because like there are so many events going on, especially for freshmen, and like you're exposed to all these new people, all these new places, like all these different like spots to go to, and it takes up so much time because like, you know, when you're living at home, like your parents could say like come home, but like no one is gonna tell you to like go back to your dorm in Hagerstown.
That is crazy. I thought this was a safe space. I really thought this was a safe space. Wow, guys.
But like, I think that really like attributes itself to like how much self-control do you really have, and like personally I struggled with that a lot, and I still struggle with it, and honestly I'm someone who, like, I know a lot of people when they come to college, they're like, I'll experience anything once.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there are, like, even though it's once, there are a lot of things.
There's a lot of things. That's like 1,000 things.
Yeah. So, like,
Trust.
there will always be, like, an event at the student union you can go to. Or, like, there'll always be something. There's always a party. There's always, like, someone's birthday or something like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to
one
everything. Like,
Yeah.
it's like still prioritize your academics, because like I know so many people who were like such academic weapons in high school, were like focused because their parents like made them like stay at home and do their work, but like now since they technically have like the license to like do whatever they want, they like get overindulgent in those extracurriculars that are like, you know, like partying or like whatever, or just like kind of just like hanging out.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's bad to like, you know, take time to do those things, because especially at the start of like college you want to have like friends and like a group. I understand that, but like once you kind of have that figured out, like more or less, like still lean back into your academics.
That would also come naturally. Like
finding
friends comes so naturally in a way. Like if you're pushing for it, like it might be hard, but like it'll come to you.
And like learning that balance, I feel like it just takes time and experience, because like for me it took it took a hot second. Like I swear, like I think all of freshman year it took me to like realize I don't need FOMO, because my friends were just sitting in the library doing nothing, and I really like why do I have FOMO right now when I could be just sleeping and wake up early and have a good
mental health.
Exactly.
Prioritize it.
Call my mom. I feel like I'm a junior now, and I only just now figured out what works for me. Like, I know that when I study, I can't listen to music, so instead, I listen to music in the shower. And, like, little things like that, like, it all adds up, and, like, you'll find your routine with time. But it's pretty crazy. It takes a minute to, like, realize what's important to you and what's, you know, maybe less.
No, as a fellow FOMO girly, like, it's so bad. It'll be, like, two friends. I'm, like, looking at their location. I'm, like, so why are you guys together? Why are you guys together? Like, hello? But it's just getting over that and being, like, okay, like, maybe I should look at how much I have to do. I have so much to do. I should be focusing on my own stuff. Because then
it's, like, if you do go and you hang out, it's, like, the same as always. It's nothing crazy.
You're not missing
out. Like, I saw my roommates go to, like, Trader Joe's together, and I had gone, like, the day before, and I was like, I got my groceries, and I was like, why did you do that without me? And I was like, they're getting tomatoes. They're getting tomatoes. Like, it's not that deep. Like, they will go again, and you will go again with them. Like, it's okay.
Like, definitely, like, plan out where you want to go, what you want to do. And be, like, impromptu. It's college. Like,
be, like, the best things
do what the vibe is.
But, like, still be mindful of what you have.
Exactly.
Very mindful. Very
Very cute. Like, there will always be times where, like, no one really has anything to do. If it's like super late at night on a Friday and like no one was then really gonna do work anyway, like if you're all just like chilling and talking, like those are honestly some of the best conversations you can have in an environment like this. But like over the week, like stay on your game, like just you don't have to always be locked in, but like at least have your own priorities. Like a self-care routine is so important. Like when you're in those freshman
dorms,
take
notes.
Yeah, literally. CS
fresh shower.
Yeah.
Literally. No, for real.
Yeah.
Fresher to freshen.
No,
please lock in on the showers.
Yeah. But like, it's so easy to just like not do your laundry. No one knew that I was gonna go in the shower, so why do I have to go in the shower? It's like, it's like the clothes are clean. It's like, girl, like just do your laundry. Like you can just go down to the elevator to the basement and put your clothes in the laundry, and like it's okay.
It's
like,
fine.
It's okay.
Sunday resets. I like.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I'm such a
I could
heavy
be like
advocate
like a potato all day, all week. And then, like, Sunday, I'm like, all right, gotta get it back.
Yes, same thing, but for me, it's on Saturdays.
Okay. Yeah, I'll start Saturday night. Like, I'll put in the laundry, and then Sunday I'm full.
Exactly. I'm like, I always I'm a procrastinator. So that,
Yeah.
so that reset day keeps getting pushed. But
Don't worry.
do that.
It
Don't
still
do that.
comes though.
I still shower.
The reset day still comes.
But
at
don't
the end of the
push
day.
it. Like, just do everything. Like, if you're like, oh, I can do it tomorrow, you won't do it tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like one thought that's really helped me is like if I'm procrastinating something or like I'm doing an assignment or something and I'm actively like I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this. I'll be like, if I don't want to do it now, what's gonna make me want to do it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Nothing. So let me
Let me
get
just
back
do
to
it.
it.
Yeah.
And I time block most of my stuff in my GCal.
Yeah.
I love my color-coded GCal.
Yes.
And
I
if
recently got
I
into
see
it.
that I need to do laundry in here, and I'm like, oh, I can push it back. I'm
Oh.
like, I can't see that it can be pushed
Yeah, yeah,
anywhere
yeah,
else.
that
I'm
definitely
like,
helps.
I have
Nowhere
to do
else.
it now.
Yeah.
That definitely helps.
Yeah.
So that helps with accountability.
But in a way, like, sometimes I, like, get in
Yeah,
the
I
mood.
heard
Like,
you
I'm,
like
like, in the mood, and I'm like,
yeah.
alright, I'm gonna do it. So, like,
Yeah.
sometimes I wait for, like, my productive hours to come
Yeah.
and, like, hit me, and then that's when I, like, do all my stuff. Because, like, when I'm, like, sitting there and, like, brain dead, and I know, like, I have to do something, but I
After
can't.
classes?
Like, I, like, mentally can't. I'm like, okay, like, let me just, like, chill
Yeah.
and, like,
There would be
Not
points
it.
where I'd like stare at a wall.
Yeah.
I'd like stare at my laptop for like 3 hours straight. What
do
is the
it,
point of
do
this?
it.
Like,
Yeah.
get up, take a walk,
it
get a
done.
snack,
I
eat a dining hall
agree.
cookie, and try again.
Yeah,
I'm
really.
really,
Yeah.
like, doom scrolling on my phone on, like, TikTok. I'm like, I need to get off. Like, it's
Yeah,
a problem.
I know.
Yeah.
The worst is when you're self-aware and you keep on
I
scrolling.
know.
I'm like,
you're like,
I need to get
oh,
off.
you're like, this
Like
is
2 hours.
Let me keep watching.
Slowly, I'm
This is
working
so
on my
interesting.
thumb, so this is
Yeah, my nails are so long anyway. Like something like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of self-care, what got me through all of freshman year was having a good skincare routine. That's what I loved. My roommates knew it. They're like, okay, I's gonna go do her skincare like every night, every morning. And I'd be in the bathroom, like the Easton shared bathroom, for like 15 minutes straight, just doing whatever, like watching people come in and out, and like I'd forget everything. So take
Bro.
moments to just like just do
Yeah.
yoga, whatever you want to
Yeah.
do.
Everything shower.
Like, don't
even.
look at
Everything
a
shower.
I love
Like,
that.
don't look
Don't
at a
look at a
screen. Just like be with yourself.
Yeah.
Do like
Reconnect with nature.
do a tactile activity that like you feel like is like either like sharpening your mind or sharpening like your vibe.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
Like
Just saying.
just do something like
Therapy.
just like
Yeah,
leave your
whatever
dorm.
helps.
Like
Yeah.
because if you stay like in your dorm forever, like you will project all of your negative emotions onto your dorm and you'll never want to be
Yeah,
back.
keep
Yeah.
it
But
in
But then you're
safe
stuck.
space.
You're stuck.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what. It's
Yeah, and it's like that's what leads to this like cycle.
Just
And
keeps
like
going.
just don't
Yeah.
go there.
Keep your
Yeah.
living space your safe space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Protect
especially
your
Yes.
especially when you're like a freshman and you have like
Yeah.
a small space. It's probably shared space too. Yeah, just like figure out where you need to study, like which places are open late, so you can stay there late if you need to study.
By the way, that
Did
camera
one of the
died off.
cameras
Okay.
just
And I
Yeah.
think that one maybe just turned
also
on.
as well.
Wow. we did
Well,
this
that's a
together.
wrap, Sagna.
That's all we have for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember,
Register for Technica 2024.
Okay, wait. Should we do it again?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay.
Cute.
Okay.
Like that would be like a fake out audio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.